Java tutorials. In this video tutorial, we'll talk about head and tail commands in Linux. Yeah. So basically, head and tail command in Linux, basically, as their name implies, the head command will output the first part of the file, while tail command will print the last part of the file. Yeah. So let's try to understand through an example. So here I am going to press Ctrl Alt T to open my terminal. And now here I have some files on my desktop. So let me navigate to my desktop by using cd command. So now I'm at my desktop, right? Let me increase this. Now a very simple command when we use using head and tail. So simply you have to write the tail and then file name. So file name I'm going to specify tutorials1.txt, right? And if I press enter, then by default head or tail command basically let's talk about the first head command. By default basically that will display the first 10 lines of your file, right? This is the first 10 lines of my file. That's the default behavior, right? This default behavior can be changed, but before basically doing using some options or flags, let me show you the similar fashion. Let me show you the tail command use. So if you write tail and file name, then this will give you the by default last 10 lines of the file, right? Tail is exactly what's the name imply that is doing, that is showing by default 10 lines of the file, last 10 lines of your file, and head is basically default showing first 10 line of your file, right? Let me clear this down. This behavior can be changed by specifying some flag or option. So here you can provide some options. So let's say I would like to check 5 lines of the first 5 lines of my this file. Then simply here you can specify -5, or so here you can see first 5 lines has been printed, or you can see this is basically this line is very long. Basically this is the single line. So if you look at the 1 2 3 4, and this is the single line, which is basically length of line is too long, and that's why that is basically coming in the next line. Now here you have two options. Either directly you can specify the number of lines which you want to see, I mean first in number of lines. Like here I would like to see the first 5 lines, right? Let's say I would like to see the first 20 lines. So that simply you can specify the flag 20, -20, or -n20 will work as well, right? So this will display first 20 lines. And similar fashion you can use the tail command also, right? This flag will work with the tail command. I mean, like tail, and let's say I would like to see first let's say n first 4 lines, right? So, and I will give the file name something like tutorials1.txt. then this will show me the first 4 lines, right? In that way this flag works, right? Apart from that, what I would like to also show you, here you can specify multiple files as well. Let's say, and this will work with the head as well as tail. So here I'm going to use tail, and here I'm going to specify, let's say I would like to see by default 10 lines will display. So by default I am going to specify, let's say 5 lines, and file name I'm going to specify. First file name is tutorials1.txt. second file name is tutorial2.txt. if I press enter, then here you can see this is showing the file name tutorials1.txt first 5 line, and tutorials2.txt first 5 line. Similar fashion this command will work for the tail as well. So here I am going to specify instead of head, tail. So this will display the last 5 lines in these two files, right? Let me press enter, and last 5 lines in both the files is coming out, right? Both the file is having the almost same content, and that's the reason it is showing same content, right? Now let's move ahead. So now some of the important thing I'm going to discuss over here. So sometimes so here one of the feature I'm going to talk that is called watch a file for changes. So sometimes the input file we want to check is changing. For example, a running application may append its output to a log file, right? if we execute tail command with a flag F option on the changing file, all newly added lines will be appended to the standard output. So let me show you three example. Let's say this is exactly not the log file, but this is simple text file. But let's say if you would like to check basically your log file, right? And whenever some new text gets generated in the log file, and that is appended at the last in the file, then you would like to check those newly appended text. In that case, tail command is very useful. So in tail command you can use a flag is called F is nothing but the follow, and here you can give the file name. So here I'm going to give the file name as tutorial1.txt, and if you press enter, then here you can see it is blinking over here. So let's say assume this is a log file and some application is generating some basically a text and appending at the end of this file. Then whenever some new text will be appended, then that will be displayed over here, and it will keep refreshing automatically. So in that way you'll keep watching whatever text is getting appended at the last, right? And by default it is showing the 10 lines. You can modify this behavior as well, right? So that is all about the watch for changes. Now I'm pressing Ctrl C to come out. Now last but not the least, what I would like to talk as you have seen, you have learned till late that the head command can give us the first part of a file, while tail command can output the last part of the input file, right? But what if we want to get some part in the middle of a file? To solve this problem, we can combine these two commands all together, right? Let's say I want to get the text from line number, let's say in the 450 to basically 1450 to 1460, right? If I open this file, then let's say if I scroll, this is really huge file. Let's say I would like to get the output from, let's say, from this line to next 10 lines, right? So 1450 to, let's say, 1460. Then how I can do that? So it's very simple. In that case, you have to combine your head and tail command. So here I'm going to write a very simple command for this. I will write tail, right? And after that I'm going to specify a flag -n, and after that I would like to start from the 1450, right? So I would say plus 1450. This is the line number from where I would like to start, and after that you have to specify a file name, that is tutorials1.txt, and you have to specify pipe. And after that I'm going to use head, right? And here I'm going to specify a -n, and I want the next 10 lines, right? So head basically telling you head from tail commands. Just I'm telling I have to start from the 4050, right? 1450 line in this file, and head is specifying I want start from this, but I want the next 10 lines, right? So if I press enter, then here you can see it is started from 4050. If I could open this file, so if you see 1450, this is the 1450, right? What you can see in the log has displayed, right? And this will display next 10 lines, right? And that's what you can combine head and tail, and you can get the basically text in the middle of the file rather than getting file from the and or head, right? So that's all I wanted to show in this video tutorial, guys. So I hope you enjoy learning this video. Before leaving, I would like to request you, if you did not subscribe KK Java Tutorials till yet, then please go ahead and subscribe.